hate penbleeds. That's Mike Bennett INfinite. All
Yes.
yours.
Bennett and Pennant. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, no way.
No, I'm kidding.
Did you like this?
Yeah, you know, we can't help it. Okay. This, we're kind of gonna do a little warm-up one that, you know, I use a lot of tracks that I buy from beat producers that I'll also use today, but this first track is one that Mike made, and then I'll just do some of my classic poetry, kind of rapid, hopefully follow all the words, and, you know.
Oh my,
Holds me back from my center, striving over need to myself, paint a picture. All I truly need is non-fiction, to learn the lessons, to not sleep, but instead cool heated kitchen, to not get caught up in what I am pitching. Sometimes just listen, I'm finding splinters, and I ask where and when they are from. Why do they now come to my surface? I must pluck them and then repurpose. I'm excited, not nervous, I'm imprinted by precursors, by my own cursive, express and release. Yet this space, cause it doesn't just be who is seized. I hold the present moment and in the knowing of its value, and like the scent of jasmine, like a flower that blooms at night, I can shrink right into myself as the sun shows, as if I'm suddenly afraid of rushing of my own shadow. The witching hour allows for terrifying battles, so I'm nothing but thankful. I can wait for in the oasis, I can taste liberation from my damage, and also then what replaces it. I reach the final stages of it, it's just scar tissue in the shapes of things that once had me in. To tailor fit again and again, and all those outfits are down to the very last thread. And I am sleeping in a different bed. A river of light now runs through what was destined and better. Heavy as lead, and I am an old soul. I am big and bold, just so fragile and little, and sometimes hard to hold or hold on to. Cause spiritually I'm like a rolling stone. I am my home, and without effortless equality, I'm always moving right along, healing, hurting through a song or sonnet or other process or crystals in my palms. I have mantras, not mottos. I can't tell tomatoes from tomatoes. Don't know what to call it, or if I'll feel back to normal 2 days from now or tomorrow. Certainly no longer. I will live, no longer live through it. I will get without the ego's need to prove it. I will maintain movement so I never lose it. I'm sometimes a teacher, but always a student. I have OCE, Obsessive Compulsive Expression, re-identity. I'm still me. Impassioned disposition, hardly free. I keep switching hands, you sit, I will stand. Feelings you don't ground my reasoning. No fundamental sensuality. I'm seasoned, I am seasoning. Condensed energy, oh me, my breathing. Can I relate to you? Can I want car bricks for you? So look at a wheel full and just then like that is my pillow. Roll out of the jungle, I'll never your uncle. Everything is acute, every string is a loop. My apples are good and through to you. Congratulations are parades for you, oh individual. Emotions are so hard to be thought. The responses seem cold or unfeeling, but can I get a hand in healing? Harmony is hard with deep sensitivity, defensive to be deliberately difficult to gather or deliver me. And all my intensities, I need a lot of love and patience. I can't articulate my deepest feelings, I paint them. Expression smacks of obsession, then again I'll learn my damn lesson. It's not easy being tranquil, all is absolute potential disasters. My faith is radical, tantrums, tears in tandem, then you look like I find random complexes. I can't relax, can't exchange back. So unusual bridges to go mind back, and I get intertwined in you, but I will. Oh, the humanity, my mind and my personality are both engulfed in flames. Let it rain, oh, let it rain. Conflict between my logic and my emotional ambitions. My remissions took the purpose, lack of inner peace. Coming easily, I'm uneasy naturally. Making many a mountain from this molehill. I'm like a fountain born of a drizzle. I expand when I whittle, but also become quickly brittle. Far from simple, no matter how damn little. I can go from pleated to wrinkle, from ground to a sinkhole. Thing small, I'm starting to understand his wall. I'm looking all, and then I can only call. Come on, just let me fall, and I'll dance to liberation. If I am a warrior and I am then, why do I feel so inferior? All because I am so sensitive. I'll leave without proper provocation to an unknown location in my inflated thoughts, my fears, my spatial arrears. Let me look at this mirror, I'm unclear, is it me? Or am I doing just fine? With no desire to rewind, I feel I'm doing all right. My own will is not my guiding light, I'm holding tight. Opposite the near sight, just harder, but never fully hardened. Not a bruise within and not a bearing garden, or a field of the daringly departed. If I abuse sparingly, I'll survive the audit. long before then. My growth feels explosive, especially the most corrosive. And her hopeful and focus is so devoted to come to notice in her battle as history. This whisper of hysteria was never meant to scare you away, or with this blistered heart or bitter pills of yesterdays. I honor the learning and I embrace the change and a new day.
Oh, play mixed with a little. Oh, why don't you play mixed with a little? Why don't you play Chevalier mixed with a little Marvin Gaye? I said play mixed with a little, yeah.
I might actually need a little more of the track here, I was forgetting the amplifiers there, sorry. Okay, so, these sweet little creatures that Pete mentioned, tardigradas, I don't know if anyone knows them. Yes, they are here. Hey guys. This is about a specific two, William Water Bear, Millie Moss Bigot. Okay, Billy Water Bear. And he goes by whichever, as long as you help him find his lost mate, which is what this is about, because they live in a laboratory and he's not met the mother of his children, even though they've been born and all that, and he's just trying to carry around a portrait of her, seeing if anyone has seen her.
In the lab, it's all arranged.
Yeah, exactly, just whichever little tube you get put in. So, oh yeah, whatever you think. Little William Water Bear, in search of his mate, who is see-through yet unclear. Oh, Miss Millie, Moss Piggy, I know you're out there. He goes asking around with a portrait of his gal, hoping someone will say, yeah, I've seen her around. Oh, my dear's depiction, let's see. She's a teeny weeny, lumpy stumpy honey bun like me. She's open cloaked, full disclosure, transparent microfolk. She's got nothing to hide inside of her birthday suit she molts, multitasking to shed and poop, that's right. She just robes her coat while releasing precious stones. She's boneless but has many a curved appendage. 4 chitin claws per perfect paw. Calcified crab shell but fancy footed, all in all. Her limp legs and back and on backwards flow like the train of a gown until they come in handy. A dangling upside down on her purty face, a pursed pipette, that puckered little pumpkin. Aw, shucks, that babe's my dumpling. And she is so strong for one thing. Huge threats, no bother. For example, the pond monster. She just walks along it. That brown hydra, looking like a deadly anaconda. And no drama. She goes with the flow, her frozeness withstanding negative 272 degrees Celsius. She's the most resilient in the universe. Tough enough for 1,000 times a human's fatal dose of radiation. Plus, when water boils her, she endures with patience. Then, like the world is on her darling shoulders, the pressure of 6,000 atmospheres won't fold her. She, or I should say we, can drop down to 3% hydration. Then we become a ton, not in weight but in phase. Knowingly she'll waste away and become like a stunned potato bug in a sugar glass case, hardened and sweetened to taste. But she just waits and waits in a mummified state where she may remain for thousands of days, maybe a decade. Amazingly, with 97% water loss of simple spritz and sip criminals, she'll just fill her up and walk it off. Back to a plump aquatic little bugger, a bad little mother. I've missed Miss Moss the most, this oh Millie. Loved at first sight, but she had already left when I met her, but I don't boast this. It was merely a figment of my fine piglet. Even her crystal turds are genuine after munching and sipping on diatoms, lunches of microalgae silica, which leads to cords, plus aragonite and chlorella, of course. Moving through her see-through parts, she is what she eats, and my queen, she eats sparkles. Okay, so I suppose that her story goes that she eventually chose to bear offspring. I'd seen her floating with what looked like belly stones, but upon looking close, it was a cuticle sheath in one piece, guarding eggs, protecting them a bit falsely. I approached proper. I knew what I offer, and also just what it could cost me. I may never find my Millie, and she may never find she's lost me. Parthenogenic, she don't exactly need me, but gosh, let me stop, I'm really going on. So yes, we had some time alone, about an hour. Well, not Millie really, but her old outer. I crossed my claws that our spawn are safe to thrive. After all, in this molten shell that I must tell you held her like this well. A couple weeks passed, and when I went back, all of our babies had hatched. And ever since then, I've been in search of my match. Where is my little Millie at? Where is my little Millie at? Just then, someone said she had been drafted as one of NASA's little astronauts, given the honor of micro Space Force, whether asked or asking or not. A half moon ago, the traveling tardies ventured home. So yeah, Millie was there, and I recall I thought I saw her looking awfully small, but I didn't read her as distraught at all. Which way? Yelled William. Promptly he sees it, that I go over urine and oxybiosis. She was back from space but out of air, though he's not afraid of her prognosis. William blows her a kiss with a puppeteen, little styletted lips. Within a second, she's fully present. William Water Bear, Millie Moss Piglet, they just clicked and hitched, and there one cell per eyeball, all saw quick. Here is it, and he cries, Millie, mio tardigrada, Millie, oh William, mein kleine Wasserbeer. And for the rest of their years, it was happily ever from there. Based on true love, y'all. I'm guessing. So, this next song is well, it's a biography, but now it's a song. Thank you. This is a biography about Rachel Carson, who just did such incredible, work so that we could meet bald eagles and all kinds of other things. But anyway, I don't need to explain much because I'm about to do it biography. Okay. Yeah. Sweet. 1907, Rachel Carson came. Nature was her mentor, her friend, and so her unyielding devotion in return began. The nature study movement, it was rooted in the movement in native nature, and it as teacher to student from each May back around to April, like the clock display of arrows to what that time has to offer in a play in a day far outskirts are proper. Following her watch through the streets of cycles and songs to look thereupon, to grasp when it is when between dusk and dawn. Then by light of day, taste the barrier blade of grass, smell the open space, inhale the honeysuckle masses. This forest bathing practice is to be one with what surrounds us, and each at a time take in what each sense finds. Let us kneel to what supports us, touch and feel that sacred, very ground. Listen and hear buzzes, patters, voices, bustling mothers, crackles, calls, and splashes. These gorgeous organic sounds. With her ears as figuratively big as Buddha's, pointed action from Carson's compassion and understanding of that which we destroy. We can't just then go back to or come back from. So, why was murder of this not crime? Well, await her written sentence and her mission in overdue time. Throwing bones of info for a simple mind's digestion, and then the meat and need, and so here came the lessons. Once upon a time, there was a waterfowl country in the days and the ways of the duck, and it was in its rich habitat, and thus countless babes and buds and delicious other stuff. And then one day, when the white man came, oh, they came with saws and chains, and facing it all for more profitable domains and more short-term return gains, and all for wealth atop the back of Mother Nature's remains. Ego sustains and spread like drought fire over instinct and vital plains. By manufactured force, man will rain, drop his DDT insect bombs and let it sink into the tap water to wash it down, or from the shower head into the crown, as red from green trickles down now. So she brewed astutely to communication of true news, fighting and writing to capture what's it to you. A little careless and fictional, frost falls off from her friction, warming and warning the fast track to when all is lost beyond your lawns and crops. Tick tock. They didn't test it, but wouldn't want to dip their testes in this poisonous pesticide or swim their spawn in streams of Nagasaki insecticide, but blindly bestowed and tried it for the synthetic environments of greedy, heedless man, needlessly carcinogenic plans to take barbaric recess from the bosom of life into those bloody, toxic hands for the momentary, monetary, here and now, and at the cost of many generations that in many cases may be spared by implementing laws of conservation. As for the Rachel Carson home, her self-designed ideal house with her wall tangle outside, she let build itself. That place isn't safe, as both are concrete beltway now. Imagine with monstrous missing chemicals, demolishing organic radicals, which are free only briefly to begin with, and she had the bandwidth to bear down and stand with nature, in hearing then in principle practice, sandwiched between, enter the spectrum between potential and damage, not in a panic or frantic, facing the giants and meddling in even medical well-being, federal dealings, meetings with several groups who which only their funds have no ceiling. Her applied drive on a crash course of course is daunting, loss of beloved old haunts haunting. Her ground stomping with logic, her rational intelligence strictly on truth and topic. We must stop this. We must stop it. Spoken often. Go, thanks. Is that was 3, the nurses one? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this song, this poem, song, whatever, it's a song right now. It's called Laid Down, and it's basically about how mostly Kaiser Permanente, but also other things want to make way less like acute care facilities, so people are kind of forced to have like a robot type nurse at home and be monitored like remotely, which is like sick as hell. So I wrote this about what I was reading about it. It's called Laid Down. Hello? 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 No, I don't have kids. No, I'm not near death or laying in its bed. But they're pressed with nursing staff less and less. Who will teach the rest? Who gains one at whose expense? What subpar Da Vinci robot comes to code red cause and effect or please with fainting final breaths? Human nurses versus Terminator, technology, medical servicers, devotion from persons spent tons non-refundable to become someone who can tend to a patient getting well. Observations over time of so many signs aligned and those of this species having sudden or chronic issue or health crises or urgent symptoms of disease. This takes time, a pumping heart, and a will of iron. Not input of code or a cold robot probe. Intake and update by multiple choice of generic concerns or sections or medications taken by those who are lacking past patience. They are fast, but stillborn. The soulless thing you can't avoid is sponge bathing you, shorting out the appointed doctor droid. If you slip and fall, how will it hoist? If you switch your mind and voice, do not resuscitate. Can it and will it honor your choice? Compassionate machinery isn't possible. And if you can't feel yourself, you can't have empathy. Can't grasp needs expressed in weakness or with subtlety, or in a language accent it can't compute to answer back or understand, but will spew a skewed and technical science dialect and then can't perceive to deduce an infection with atypical presentation. The frigid digits from the hand segment of this assigned advocate. These fake nurses pay you visits and counterfeit. Take the pulse away, force the cost to raise. Misery, force lost dignity. Automated and ethnically biased, running acute care patients out like pariahs, closing down advanced care facilities. What oaths and obligations might protect approaches psychologically. Kaiser temporarily, not permanently, and monitoring remotely, so revenue is through the virtual roof, and I suppose humans with various calls for access can tune in to watch you in any private moment spent alone at your own address. No, I don't have kids. No, I'm not near death or laying in its bed, but with nursing staff less and less, who will teach the rest? Who gains what at whose expense? What faulty Da Vinci response comes to code red, calls a reflector, please express with fainting final breath. Hello? Hello? I'm scared, where'd you go? Falls the ill on ears deaf. So what if this welded fellow held your head to your pillow till you left? Your last embrace before finally and final rest. Hello? Hello? This is pretty fun and new because Mike Bennett INfinite has me feature with him and with his music. So this is a fun first of
Role reversal.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we have two more. This one also a biography. I meant to split them up. This one's also no, it's not a biography. Lying to you guys. Rewind barely. This is actually about Jesse Duplantis, televangelist that's been around for a long time, yeah, he's weird as heck. But anyway, in 1988 he said that he, fell asleep and then was taken to heaven in a cable car by this gorgeous Fabio type of angel from heaven, and it was just shocking how just earthly his whatever. Anyways, well, let me just say this is basically me doing his testimony, but in song and with you. Thanks. Okay. Jesse Duplantis, blatant scamming antics and ruse of his divinity, his purity and merry virginity. So now God seeks, Jesse, what shall I do for thee? Well, let's see. See past the sowing of bad seed. It was 1988, but he still testifies without hesitating. Jesse left a steaming pile of breakfast. Abruptly had to head back to the Best Western. Summoned by something commanding with a book on his chest, he fell quick into rest, fast and blasted through the roof into a cable car with an Aryan angel too. Once there, here came a thick old barrel-chested man. The man was his dad, Abraham. So pleased to greet this earthly fool who looks around at property values so astounding and whom it's destined unto. Jesse asked about his own heavenly palace, and is it something he'll be proud of? Abe, tell the truth now. The ground, flowers withered, can't be withered there. So he goes stomping through their bed. The flowers turn their heads. He said he'll never forget the people sniffing leaves as long as he lives, but he don't quite recall all that Abraham has said. Up there they wear their clasped by their gown of salvation, a righteous robe, just so you know. So anyway, they began screaming, he's coming, repeating it as the perfume of Jesus wafts. He walks up from a dazzling city, he all glitzy in his sash of gold with 1 billion diamonds embedded. His face was hidden behind that glow, but his glory was exposed overwhelmingly so. And Jesse says, yes, y'all want to know Jesus' aesthetic? He continued, but that's hard. I could tell you in tongues, but you'd never get it. Damn it. Well, it's just glory pouring and luminous, blinding light. He had brownish hair and he was brilliantly bright. He was truly a sight, if I'm remembering right. And God said, I brought you here, Jesse, so you'll tell my people I'm coming. And Jesse, smart Alec, talks back like, duh, God, they already know that. And God exclaims, Jesus' worst day is yet to come. It's important that you have enough Harleys and cash from earth to kingdom come. 2 ways for you to travel back in case you want to come alone. And next, Jesus pointed at David like, hey, Dave, take our buddy to meet and hear the rejoicing voices of aborted and miscarried babies whose souls I saved. Aren't they so great? Then little souls in little gowns gather round God on his throne. They emerge from the power, the smoking gunpowder. Oh, Father, make me a spirit. He exhaled, which impaled them into a body to wear. Did it all from his chair. And Jesse admits to asking dumb questions while there, like, where is the Holy Spirit? And what's the Trinity for real? He couldn't look at God without fuel from plumb from above to restore, and then catch his breath enough to ask the angels, are they not bored? Then short Paul came up to Jesse tall and asked, say, friend, what do they make of my gospel? And maybe, who is the hottest apostle? And Jesse told him, Paul, it's good stuff, I promise. And so he went on, mocking the hell out of heaven in his greedy corruption, disgusting. Overcompensation for doubt, he's proud to say, yeah, I saw the roads of gold and the pearly gates, but I put the people above them. Ooh, Lord, am I something? And another correction he bestowed is that heaven is a bustling, busy, not a peaceful place of holy beauty. There must be no time in eternity. This honorary disciple sees Jonah on his mission. Jonah stopped a moment to listen, and then back on earth he tells of the riches, the miswritten, and the matter of time running out. But with enough dough, you'll see the heavenly dry ice on gemstone roads is not a bad place to go. So that's the testimony as I know it. And even though I don't want to ask donations, God told me I have to charge for every slice of my bologna. So souls, you owe me. So, this last one is about a little cutie, an ugly little cutie, Sallyboy the Waterdog. There's about a salamander from North Carolina that has the biggest genome, and in 2021 they finally read its DNA sequence because it was a bitch. And so this is about everything I learned from the science article about this little fella, and there might be a little love story I may have put onto him. Yeah, no, it's probably accurate. Hey, come here. I want you to meet someone. He's a bit waterlogged, muddled, spottish, sluggish, water doggy, muzzled by his lack of upper jaw. See a muddled look of puzzle or boredom so subtly modeled as he can't even yawn. Hilo burrowed in concealment under his rock awning, a bump on a log, barely loping along, and he's owning it. Gobbling meals as they happen to pass his quick tongue. Son of a gun, seemingly in meditation, then suddenly you're gone. Charming old overgrown larva, flaccid baby arms can't hold a lover till here comes his princess, and they link single digits like a pinky swear to a partnered pair in health and in sickness. See, they're supposed to have at least one toe to a couple, together doubled. Say now, I see she shall explore, looking into his hunky larval flourish to see how he adores her. She is watching his massive red blood cells bounce and dash around in this blushing, crushing stud. A connection is buzzing now. Separation can't be fair, with fragile hearts broken like paper tails, and a body with a physique of apparent betrayal, primed for appeal. But that's in our view of fitness and the way that our resilience appears. And survival's not like beauty, to be measured by the seer. Only skin deep of this treasure is somewhat clear. How did he begin? A whole century young and still in his placenta-filled skin, slimy and thin, distorted organs and a body a bit unfortunate. No longer is the will or ability to be a landlubber willingly. Weakling widow extremities can't handle much with absence of some fingies. Too strenuous is metamorphosis, can't hold a candle to his still and patient hovering. If it's not a must to develop it, Waterdog don't bother with. Barely any toes if he goes for rear legs at all. Honestly, between you and me, bones of the feet and skull are soft spots for this fellow. He's not a baby about it, it's just he's literally embryonic. Peter Pan, and he can't help it. Forever babe will never be a Toys R Us kid, or at least I doubt it. Cause the only thing in his will is to live. He has different limits and still for what gives. He may not need the heart we feel so valuable, the brain we think reigns so powerful. His tongue must be quicker and keener than a sharp mind or a bullet so inferior. He's both simple and complex. A lot is going on inside of our friend, so let us dig in. Cells so swollen, he's packing a bigger genome than any four-legger known, though the marbled lungfish has the absolute largest, but our blood is on its tail, trailing right behind it. Speaking of lung, blood pups and water dogs function without, instead breathe through his smooth dermis. This embryonic plethodonid, he could use a prostodontist, and within him, parasitic DNA gone haywire. In the body of this fuddy-duddy, sluggerly little buddy with a serious look upon his face, like, what's so funny, honey? in this simple brain that can regenerate? Was there atomic fancification to create an atomic so fascinating, yet grotesquely basic? Is that degrading? Maybe. Not known for his brains, brawn, or looks, but his species found a loophole that escapes all of us. And just like the majorly inflated genome, all the man himself managed to have a total lack of ego. Ballooning of the chromosomes, bloated belly full of confetti transposons. Scientists were avoiding reading its DNA because its sequence N makes math pi a sprinkle or a sprint. And like the hellbender, this fine salamander carries a parasitic torch of his ancestors from 200 million years ago. Often over time, one usually finds they've been pruning away at any threatening mutation, which proliferates. They're slow to dispose so those transposons don't accumulate. And they have the lowest of the low metabolic rate and the lowest need for oxygen of any vertebrate. These special guys' cells aren't specialized so well. Optic nerves with rumstrung neural fibers gone wild. The gray matter without single files for visual messages arrival. What does his tectum provide? While inside a wild ride of neurons chaotic, but with his misses by a slippery side, all feels symbiotic and fine. Ventricles held in walls like wet toilet tissue shells. Can't hold in feelings, see through it, shows and tells. Seen as a hollow place, but maybe where his spirit dwells. Welling up with introns so rich, land is of no interest. And he can love and feed, so his perch he shall not leave in earnest. And having no conquest, rather stay and sever and regrow, though awfully slow with that big old genome. And he requires less formation of muscle or bone, cause he's got his lady and his pantry and his modest little home. He doesn't need his heart to love or brains to have a mind of his own. He doesn't need lungs to breathe or working hands to have and to hold. For this darling's perplexing existence alone, he is truly worth his genome in gold. All right. Yeah.